The developing news story where 82 people have now been arrested, so no longer 67. It's now been increased to 82 people following the gang rape and robbery of 8 women at a Krugersdorp mine dump on Friday. The women were part of a crew shooting a music video at the mine, and several other crew members were also robbed. Residents say they live in fear and are demanding more visible policing. Siyabulela Jentile, an activist, joins us now for this conversation. Siyabulela, always a pleasure speaking to you. Very good morning. It is just an unfortunate circumstance that South Africa has to literally be dealing with another case of just gender-based violence, violation against women, especially following the crime statistics that were released between January and March this year, showing that almost 11,000 people were raped within just the first 3 months of the year, and yet now we've got another issue at our hands. I don't know what to call it at this stage. Is it a pandemic?
Good morning, Faith, and thank you for this opportunity. It is a pandemic, and it is pandemic that we've been making noise about over the years. But we also need to acknowledge, and we appreciate that on this particular case, there's been arrests, 82 arrests, as you have made mention of, that have just been made. We welcome that and we appreciate that, but we also need to point out to the dynamics surrounding this particular case. This is not just a rape case. This is a case that involves contravention of immigration laws, which is yet another pandemic in South Africa, because you have a group of people who are terrorizing South Africans. As one of the residents mentioned, that these things are happening in that particular part of the country. They're happening almost every week. And we know in other parts of South Africa as well, such things are happening. I mean, in Krugersdorp, in Joburg, the very same group of people who are, and I'm not afraid to say that they are referred to as Marashia, or some people who are from Lesotho, who are here illegally. They're terrorizing communities. They're dangerous. They are armed. These are the people who go around shooting, killing people, and raping women in South Africa. And we need to call these things as they are, Faith, and call on the government to, strengthen its arm and make sure that these people are brought to book and they are actually deported back to their countries until they can come here legally.
Yeah, I mean, you're speaking here about really a plethora of issues that South Africa has to contend with, and it's quite ironic that it's contending with this as the governing party sits down for its policy conference. What can be done better so that, civil society can actually claim back their power? It does not help that community members keep saying that they feel as though they're living in fear in their own communities. In fact, one such a community member was speaking about how they feel as though they are foreign nationals in their own land.
And Faith, it's true, and it's very sad, and it actually makes me angry that South Africans need to feel like they are foreigners in their own land, because the genuine stories and outcries of South Africans have been invalidated under the umbrella of being xenophobic. And when South Africans saying that, but people, we need to look into these issues. South Africans are labeled as xenophobic, and it cannot be right. And my prayer is that as the leadership of the African National Congress sits in that policy conference this weekend, they ventilated these issues and ensure that they are going to embark on a very aggressive mass deportation program. Because, Faith, it cannot be that the application and the implementation of immigration laws is considered to be xenophobic in South Africa. It must not, and we need to deal with each and every case as it comes with its own merit. And on this particular issue, we are sitting with a group of people who have mobilized themselves against the South African communities. They go around killing, shooting, and raping, and we must call them out. And we must say to government that you need to strengthen and protect our borders. And those who are found in South Africa illegally, they need to be sent back to their countries. And that is not xenophobia. That is South Africans saying we've got immigration laws that need to be implemented. And that is saying that the constitution of this country states clearly that citizens of this country must be protected. They must be having their dignity protected. And having so many women raped, that means that they've been violated, their dignities have been, that is an equivalent of being killed in their own countries. So we are saying that the African National Congress must do the right thing. In fact, Faith, South Africans must vote out the African National Congress. That is one thing that we must do, because these people continue to fail us each and every day. We are where we are today because there's a lack of political will in addressing socio-economic issues in South Africa. We have gangs gangsters running our country. They have our country on ransom. And what we get, the government is doing absolutely nothing about it. South Africans must vote out these people. We need a new government that's got the interests of South Africans at heart.
We have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your insights. Siyabulela Jentile, the activist, giving us his response pertaining to this. Now, it's 83, it's no longer 82 individuals or suspects that were arrested in connection with that rape and robbery that took place in Krugersdorp at a mine dump. And as that story develops, as you can appreciate, it is a developing story. As law enforcement is out and about, we'll be giving you more information regarding that. But of course,